So, hello everybody. I'm Rodrigo Kerr. I'm an associate professor in Federal University of Rio Grande in the south of Brazil. I'm also one of the co-chairs of the Brazilian High Latitude Oceanography Group. And first of all, I'd like to thank Carlos, Thiago, Kate, and the others organizers to invite me to show some results about the physical and biological process regulating CO2 carbonate chemistry along the North Antarctic Peninsula. And to start the presentation, I have two slides just to show what is the Brazilian high latitude group has done during the more than 20 years. We start in the middle of 90s, more work with marine mammals and monitoring the marine mammals in the region. And started the hydrographic monitoring in 2022. And after that, in 2008 and 2015, we start with more biological and biogeochemistry sampling in the region. In 2018, we published a special issue with some of the knowledge we had at that time in the North Antarctic Peninsula. And the group, the High Latitude Group, contributes to understand the relationship between the primary producers and the environmental microorganisms and top predators. Also, our ongoing objectives are mainly to integrate studies of the marine ecosystems, focus on its relationship with the current global climate change scenario. Here are our database. We have two ongoing projects, the ProSamba, which is led by myself and Professor Mata, and is the physical chemical component of the goal, and Impactantes, led by Professors Eduardo Sec and Carlos Rafael, which has aims to better understand the change in the biology and the impacts we have in the ecosystems. So the North Antarctic Peninsula, as we can see from the previous presentation, is a connecting region that's influenced by a mixture of circumpolar deep water with its relatively warm, carbon-rich, and poorly oxygenated, or relatively old waters with dense shelf water, which is also carbon-rich, but it's cold and well oxygenates because it's recently ventilated in the shelf of the northwestern Weddell Sea. I'd like to highlight that this region has been suffered rapid changes under anthropogenic influence. Regarding the central base, we can split the Bransford Strait between the western, the central, and the eastern base. The central base is the deep areas of the central base is a proxy region what normally occurs in the northwestern shelf of the Weddell Sea. And also recently we investigated the biogeochemistry around the Antarctic slope front bifurcation edge that is located. It's an anticyclonic synoptic edge caused by changes in the currents and the bathymetry. And this structure has been important things to connect the warm sides of the peninsula with the cold sides. Also, I'd like to highlight too that we are talking, when we think about the biogeochemistry, we are talking about different biogeochemical provinces. And this paper from Testa, and I think Andreas is one of the co-authors too, show the physical and the biogeochemical regionalizations of the North Antarctic Peninsula. And we can see, for example, the Gerlach Strait, an important coastal area around our region of interest, that has difference in the biogeochemistry if you consider the south and in the north part of this region. Each colors mean that the properties are more correlation. So this regionalization is particularly important for understand the path distribution of PCO2 and CrCO2 extent. Furthermore, the regions east and west of the Antarctic Peninsula have been experiencing opposing trends in sea ice cover, as we saw last day. I separated four recent results to show about the biogeochemistry and the physical biological drivers. First of all, this paper led by Mauricio Santos Andrade and published in Global Biogeochemical Cycles show the drivers of the marine CO2 carbonate in the Bransfield Straits. To perform this, we compiled historical and GOA data sets and reconstruct the carbonate system variables in the regions. We evaluated decadal average and composite analysis regarding the vertical profiles regarding the main modes of variability in the regions. The main findings we have is that the western base experiences steeper pH decrease than the sunrise areas, mainly due to intrusions of circumpolar deep water, which means, and we associated this decrease with natural carbon that is carried by circumpolar deep water. Also, in the central basin, this dense shelf water inflow promoted a deep increase in the most recent decades evaluated related to the second decade evaluates, while the eastern base of the Bransfield Strait is a mystery because there is, we think that internal mixing likely influence the variability of the parameters in the region. Here we have other results here. This is the in the sites and during the 20 years, and which is more frequent sun positive and enso negative events. Those modes of variability influence more entries of circumpolar deep water, which is relatively different from the 2010s years, while the dense of water is higher in the entrance in the area. And regarding the main process, we can evaluate the process that are changing the biogeochemistry in the regions, just evaluating the dispersion between total alkalinity and the dissolved inorganic carbon. And if the dispersion of the data follow one of these arrows, we can have inference about the process, the dominant process we have. What we have here is in the surface and intermediate waters of the Bransfield Strait is mainly regulation by dilution and concentrations of salt. While in the deep regions, it's relatively intriguing that what we identified is most related with we normally occur in the surface, that is related with physical change in just and regarding the CO2 emission or uptake of CO2, or what occur between photosynthesis and the respiration process. We infer here, but there is more investigation needed regarding influence of chemosynthesis in the regions and also hydrothermal vents injecting CO2 directly in the region. Here, just to show are the composite average profiles for the central base, so this base. that it is important to show is the increase of dissolved inorganic carbon from the 20s to 2010s, mainly in the deep basin of in the deep waters of the basin, which is normally coming from the shelf waters from the Weddell Sea. And another recent study I separated is two coupled studies published in Marine Chemistry. We investigated continuous and discrete and measurements of seawaters during the summer of 2019 in January, crossing the main fronts along the Drake Pass in several distinct biogeochemical provinces along the Antarctic Peninsula. We found that the polar front divided the Drake Pass into two regions with equal magnitudes of CO2 flux, but opposite signs, while if photosynthesis prevail in the north, in the Drake size, upwelling prevails mainly contributed to drives the carbonate variability in the south of Drake. During this period, note that this is a snapshot, it's only January of 2019. Net respiration was the major regulation of the CO2 exchange south of the polar front and along of the NAP. And also photosynthesis reduces PCO2 and increases pH and carbonate concentrations at the enclosed coastal areas. Here are some the results we had from those two work. Just to show here the distributions of the partial pressure of CO2, that's this patchy distribution, small values in areas normally related where we have, here is the CO2 flux, if the ocean is emitting or uptaking CO2 from the atmosphere. If it's blue, the ocean is absorbing. If it's red, the ocean is releasing CO2 to the atmosphere. Which regulates this is a complex process between the physical, the biological, and the chemical process. But evaluating the dispersion diagram between delta P CO2, so the difference between the CO2 in the atmosphere, in the ocean, the atmosphere, and the oxygen saturations, we can have an idea if it's more physical or biological process that are influence the changes we have. So during this period, we can see that the dispersion dates are more related with net respiration and net photosynthesis. So the biological process have a huge influence on what is occurring during this measure. If you look especially, we note that net respiration mainly influence is the main process regulates the CO2 distribution in the area, except for the northern part of the Drake Passage. That's net photosynthesis are the main regulates there. Also, if we look in the North Antarctic Peninsula, of course, changes in temperature and influence cooling or the rhythm of the waters are occurring, but also net photosynthesis. And note that in the north of Galasha Strait and around the area of the Antarctic Channel in the northwestern Weddell Sea shelf, photosynthesis also are occurring. If you look for example for the oxygen saturation, those regions are mainly influenced by the biology, which is corroborated here when we look at the dispersion diagram of total alkalinity with dissolved inorganic carbon. So near the coastal areas of King George Island, we have influence of the photosynthesis here. And also in the Antarctic Sound, which is a little bit between the photosynthesis and only the cooler waters and change the CO2. The final, as my time is, the final study I separated is related to the Antarctic slope and bifurcation edge. We investigate physical, chemical, and biological data in the region in February 2020. The edge, while it is anticyclonic, it consists of relatively cold water, salt, and carbon rich in the surface with dissolved oxygen depletions. So the main finds was that this structure releases CO2 to the atmosphere, and this is mainly caused by enhanced DIC. This accentuation in the dissolved inorganic carbon in these structures is mainly related with entrainment of waters and the upwelling both from the Weddell and the eastern side, eastern Brassfield Strait in the regions. GIC is modulated by these intermediate waters, but also by the respiration process occurring inside these anticyclonic structures. Also, we identified that cryptophyte was one of the abundance of the organisms in the core edges, which is triggered by lateral advections from the Brassfield currents and bring this group of phytoplankton from the Brassfield Straits. Here are some results, just showing that the margin of the edge and work as an uptake regions, with the central area of the edge is behaved as a release structure. Here is the decomposition, what is driving the PCO2, and we can see that the PCO2 is increasing, so the behavior is to release to the atmosphere, and this is mainly caused by the increase of GIC in this region. Also corroborated by the natural respiration projects prevailed in this situation. Finally, just to show this table, which compare, this is from the other study, this table, just comparing the situation in 2019, January and February 2020. So while we have a difference, for example, in wind speeds, the variation between PCO2 in the atmosphere and the ocean is not so far from the situation. We have difference in the dimension of the structure, but the amount of CO2 release in January 2019 is 5 times higher than what we identified it in 2020. And if, for example, if we think with the holy Brassfield Straits, this small value found in 2020 is around 1.5 or 2 times higher than we expected for the average of the whole area. So what is happening in those mesoscale and submesoscale structure is relatively important in terms of CO2 exchange. So finally, our message Rome is our investigation really diverse behaviors across distinct regions shaped by biogeochemical profiles and unique environmental conditions. These finds highlights the complex dynamics of CO2 and emphasize the significance of considering regional dynamics and process in comprehending CrCO2 exchange. As said in the previous presentations, we need to better understand the seasonal variability of mesoscale structures. We also need to better understand the spatial temporal variability of CO2 carbonate parameters around NAP beyond summer, but also within the summer, which occurs in January, normally is different from what is occurring February or March. And also we need to put more efforts to understand both the physical, for example, mixing process and chemical biological process in the region. Thank you very much.